Welcome to Pass the Baton. This is your 9-minute Olympics recap with me, Arj Tirachelvam. If you haven't joined us so far, we're a daily recap of all of the Olympics action that you need to pay attention to. Don't miss out on a day's worth of action. Hit subscribe, somewhere around here, right now. First up, we head to the swimming pool. Another day of amazing activity in the swimming pool. And we have Ilya Kharun, born to Cirque du Soleil parents, didn't have a passport when he wanted to compete for the US at the Pan-Pacific Championships. And he was born in Montreal, and he received a phone call saying, come and compete for Canada then. And ever since then, he has been performing incredibly well. That's not our odd moment of the day, though, so keep holding out for the odd moment of the day. We do, however, have some amazing action from the pool, and it starts with Kaylee McKeown in the 100-meter backstroke women's final. She stormed to victory. It was all even with the last few meters, maybe 25 meters still to go, and then suddenly she began pulling away from record holder, the person who was bidding for gold, Megan Smith, and Kaylee managed to produce not only a victory, a gold medal, but also an Olympic record, just a smidge off the world record. A fantastic race to catch up on. Move over to Dan Wiffen with an Olympic record for Ireland over the 800 meters. It's their first ever male gold in the swimming pool, and it was an emotional and incredible podium. Tune into that one. The men's 200-meter freestyle relay. This was a hot pursuit for GB men, hoping to be the first to defend their title. And they were coming out with the same squad as well. They mixed up the lineup order. That was interesting. Things were very, very tight. But then GB just started to stretch their lead. And the splits were actually incredible. All three first legs all had a 1:45 split. And then our final leg from Duncan Scott going down to a 1:43 for his split. And he was actually the only person in the entire pool to dip below 1:44. Well done, GB men. Then we have Andy Murray and Dan Evans. Tell you what, they put us through the ringer again, but they're there, they're competing, they're winning, and they're through to the next round. Over to gymnastics, and arguably the biggest event of the day, and oh my goodness, it was amazing. We had Becky Downing in the uneven bars, and then 32.5 million tuned in for this final, with Simone Biles and her team proving their haters, her doubters wrong. She says she's come in with a new mentality to competing, and she sure looks like it too. She is aggressive, but she is elegant. She isn't holding back on her social media comments too, some very prickly comments from one of her former teammates, and she basically went straight for her in a social media post with her gold medals. Pretty cool. Heading over to the women's sevens final, and we had New Zealand versus Canada. A very strong performance from Canada, and they were in the battle, leading even at times, but actually, when it came down to the final couple of minutes, New Zealand showed not only their strength, but their endurance to win 19-12. The sevens once again has delivered. This is something we need to see more from. GB saw progress in all of our water events, with both the women's double sculls and the canoe slalom, seeing GB progress to the final, so that's more to come later in the Olympics. Then, we love the BMX, we love the skateboarding. The men's BMX featured some huge moves, and also one of my favourite words, alley-oop. No shocks for those heading towards the final, but we don't know what's being held back, what big moves are going to come. And the same for the women's, actually. What kind of products are we going to see from those competitors too? Odd moment of the day. We see this every single day now. Odd moment of the day actually comes down to the medal table. We always notice that with the medal table, different nations, namely the world and then the US, view the table slightly differently. You can see over here, I'm going to put an image hopefully of the medal table of what the official medal table is. And then over here, the US version of the medal table. Which do you think is correct? Should we be basing it on total medals, or should we be basing it on gold medals and then a skewed system basically from there? What's coming up then? So first up, we have the men's gymnastics all-round final. It's perhaps almost as big as the women's event, but everyone wanted to tune in and watch Simone. We've got some competitors from Great Britain hoping to produce here as well. We have Andrea Siriex competing in the 10 meters synchro final right early on in the morning. Leon Marchand is the busiest man at the games, it seems. He's competing in not one, but two finals in the pool. It's something like an hour and 40 minutes apart. That's it. So if you're feeling tired, think of Marchand. He is hoping, he's bidding to become the first person to win medals in both the breaststroke and the butterfly at the same Olympic Games. Wow. Then we have the triathlon women and men finally perhaps heading to the Seine. If the water checks are all clear, they will both be competing in the morning, led off by the women first. And then we have former GB and NBA player, now coach and proponent of South Sudan, taking on the USA in the basketball. He's been fighting verbally back his disappointment with some of his old NBA colleagues for their comments about South Sudan, but can they maybe stick a little bit of trouble in USA's path to glory? For me, my name is Arj. It is time for us to head back to the Olympic action. If you haven't done so already, tell all your friends about Pass the Baton. Click subscribe down here. Drop us a comment. Tell me about that medal table too. But for right now, bye-bye.